And Democrats who were looking for signs of life in their party spent a lot of time looking at Pennsylvania this week because Joe Sestak, who is running for the old Arlen Specter Senate seat, had been given up for dead, basically, in the summer. But over the last month or so, as he's put out some television advertising, he has picked up some ground against Pat Toomey, the conservative Tea Party Republican who was, Pat Toomey was Tea Party before there was a Tea Party.
Before
he was
Tea Party was
conservative
cool.
before it was invented, never mind cool. And the polls show that that race is now neck and neck. It's a dead heat, too close to call. What's going on there is the big mystery. And part of it is that Democrats who actually have a registration edge in Pennsylvania. There are more Democrats than Republican, although some of them vote Republican on Election Day. Democrats are coming back to the fold a little bit. Now, some of this you would have expected all along, but and everybody expected this race to narrow up a little bit. But part of it is one of the things you saw in those ads, but also in that debate clip, negative advertising. Every voter hates negative advertising, but every politician knows that negative advertising is what works. And Sestak has hammered away and has charged that Pat Toomey, the conservative Tea Party Republican, would cut Social Security. He'd privatize Social Security is one charge. It's, of course, a long story we could get into. And that he is against Roe v. Wade. He's against abortion rights, which is true, and that is driving traditional Democrats back into the Democratic fold.
So, Chuck, you've been in Pennsylvania and a million other places and watching this, and watching particularly how the president has been trying to, and not only the president, but the other side too, trying to hold on to the ground that they have laid here, the groundwork, in two very different states, and how many, another 100 House races.
Right, Gwen. Well, the president, it's very telling where he's going and where he's not going. His most recent trip is out on the West Coast, but repeatedly he's going to mostly Democratic states, California, Washington. He's been in Wisconsin, and what he's really trying to do is hold on to seats. The Democrats have almost no hope of picking up Senate seats, for example. They're trying not to lose very many, and so the president is really trying to fire up the base, which has been pretty lethargic so far. We know that the energy has been on the side of the Republicans all along. But so while he's doing that, the other thing that I think is really interesting, and I have been in Pennsylvania as well, is you always see guilt by association ads in campaigns. There's an awful lot of them this year, and particularly what the Democrats are doing, and Joe Sestak is a classic example, is that they are saying my Republican opponent is extreme, he or she is too far to the right, and he's also associated with his Tea Party, including Christine O'Donnell. They keep talking about Christine O'Donnell, but she's the candidate in Delaware, of course. She's given very little chance of actually winning that race, but they love to talk about her because they think that she has enough notoriety with the I'm not a witch and all that.
They're doing that in Pennsylvania, where there's a little bleed over.
There is bleed over in the.
Are they doing that in other states?
They are doing it in some. They are mentioning her name in some other places as well. Not as much as in. You're right. In the Philadelphia area, you do get the bleed over of the Delaware media. But Sestak in that film clip, the debate that you showed, dropped her name several times and sort of repeatedly lumped Pat Toomey with Christine O'Donnell and Sarah Palin.
Well, let's